I don't. Yeah, you might think that. Yeah, you might think that, but I don't think that. Oh, I don't think that. No, not one bit. I don't one bit. What I think is, maybe the asteroid is gonna hit the Earth. I hear the scientists saying one day, maybe 10 million years ago, it hit the Earth, and maybe sometime a comet or asteroid gonna hit Earth, but I don't believe that, clock to that the year 2000 we're gonna, everyone's gonna disappear. As some religious folks say you're gonna rapture it up, all walking around. Maybe I'm walking down a Kroger, get my groceries. I'm walking down a Kroger and pop, I'm disappearing. I'm raptured up. Any guy, some flying an airplane, what the guy's gonna do? He flying an airplane, raptured up, pilot gone. Fly the airport, a lot of people dead. You ain't gonna kill people who are raptured up. People are raptured crazy, rapper crazy. They are. They got raptured crazy in their head. So, you gotta take the practical sense. Be practical about things, Be practical about things. We don't know what's gonna happen. Be good. You really can't plan on any kind of Holocaust happening like that. It's superstition. It's religious superstition. It's not superstition. It's superstition. It's what it is. Religious superstition. And some people, and I respect them. You got to respect people by their beliefs. But you ain't gonna be raptured up. Raptured up, yeah, they're fishing. You maybe fishing for a long time, and your favorite creek. 2 years ago you got a big bite, and every time you go home back, I'm gonna get that one. I'm gonna get that big fish, and around that time you got it, and you're pulling that fish in, and you got it. 2 years you've been you're trying to get it, and you got it. Son of a gun, before you get it up, you wrapped it up. Fish just catch your pole or something down there. Maybe someone sees that pole, it'd be funny and say, hey, there goes that pole. He got the big one, but too bad because he got ratcheted up. Now, what sense does that make? Well, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So, what I think is, live your life. Live your life. Live your life and do what you do every day. Do what you do every day. Don't be concerned about don't be concerned about disappearing. Ain't no disappearing not gonna happen as far as I know. You believe in any kind of religion you want. You be Christian. You be whatever you be. But ain't gonna be you ain't gonna disappear. Heck, ain't gonna disappear. That's just kind of like some Hollywood movie. So hey, hold on a second. Huh? Now you just hold on a second. I'm talking to a man. Hold on. Okay, what are we talking about? What do you want to know now? Huh? Huh? You really want to know that? You really want to know that? Yeah, I told that story a long time ago, and you really want to? Have you heard it before? But you want other people to hear it? Okay, I'll tell you. I believe this out there in the big thicket. I heard these stories growing up. I heard them from my grandmother. My grandmother said she heard them from her grandmother all the way back, and we hear them. And people who live near the big thicket, they hear them, and certainly, I tell you the truth, I do believe them. I believe them. I believe that out there in the big thicket, there's that goat man. There's a goat man. And as my grandmother said, they have proof of the goat man. Proof of the goat man, half goat, half man, and want to be man. He's a goat and he want to be man. So out there in the big thicket a long time ago, even sometimes today, they know if they don't know better. Sometimes today, in the afternoon they put their clothes out on clothesline, and maybe they forget to bring them in at night, and they go out the next morning and shoot. They're gone. And what they find tracks. Is muddy grass out there, or something like that, muddy or even dew on the grass. Oh shoot, they see tracks coming up to the clothesline. Clothes is dead. Clothes are gone. Clothes are gone. Out there, clothes are gone, and they see tracks leaving, and they ain't human tracks. Let me tell you that. They're half goat, half man, sort of like a club foot. That's what they are. Goat man don't have no head, what the goat foot had. They don't have a human foot, so sort of like a club foot, half goat, half man. And the reason why that goat gonna steal the clothes is because that goat knows that one thing that make him different than human. One thing that make animal different than human. And he sees it. He's smart. He's smart as a human wear his clothes. And all his life he says, here I am. I don't know who I am. I don't know who I am, but I want to be human. And if I can just wear clothes, maybe I'll be human. So let's steal the clothes. Let's steal the clothes. And maybe try to make them more human. Maybe they wear, I don't know. No one knows how long they wear them. You know, maybe wear them till they turn to rags or something like that. And then they kids look around and take advantage of people's clothesline and steal more clothes. You know, people found some fur out there. People found some fur. They say some scientists looked at it and said, hey, there ain't no goat fur. And certainly ain't no human fur, you know, half-breed, genetically mutated goat man fur. That's what everyone said. No one's got a picture of him. Pretty close we got a picture of him, but shoot, that's you know, he's lived out there for a long time. You got to be smart. You got to be smart. Yeah, you know. So maybe you don't believe it. You know, you think maybe another story about a big bud, South Texas, some stupid story about a big bud, probably some drunk old farmer, drunk old redneck out there, and saw a crane, you know, coming close to him and said, hey, that's a bud, ain't no crane, that's a big bud. And the story, rumor gets started about a big bud, but this ain't no rumor. This ain't no rumor, because this goes back generations. Goes back generations, and if you ever been in the big thicket, you know that's a mysterious place. That's a mysterious place. Hey, out there in the big thicket, they got three, not only two, they got three kind of flesh-eating plants, you know, flesh-eating plants that kind of kill, suck down, a fly. And I got another one that looked like some sort of funny, pretty trumpet flower, sweet smelling inside, insects smell it, and they'll go down there and they digest their insides and spit out their bones, right at the base. They eat a lot of insect bones. And of course, then they got that other one that people say has been gone for a long time, but I don't believe it. Big thicket. A big thicket doesn't leave things, make them gone. A big thicket keep them. Big thicket keep them and maybe change them so you get a third flesh-eating plant. I swear, big enough to eat, big enough to suck down a dog. That's right. Big enough to suck down a dog. Dog gets too close to it, suck it down, suck all the juices out of that dog, whatever it be, possum, hell, squirrel. You know, easy to eat a squirrel, and spit out its bones just like the other one. Little, you know, you see them, little stack of bones here. You know what, devil worshiper? You know, nicely stacked. The devil worshiper gonna stack some bones. Ain't no devil worshiper. That's that plant. That's what it is. That's that plant. Sucking down and spitting out the bones and moving off, because one thing that thing can do, and scientists have proved this, is it's got the ability for locomotion. You know what that means, locomotion? That means that plant can move. That plant what it do I hear is that it takes out a root. A root lifts up the root like a leg or some long arm and holds on to something and pulls itself around. It can move kind of slow, but you know, if it moves all the time, because plants don't need to sleep, not like human. Hey, maybe move 100 yards in 24 hours. That's a long way. Out there in the big thick thicket, that's a long way to move. You know, so it can move that way. So, you know, I believe it. I've heard the stories, and you know, you go out there too, and you get lost. You want to go out there with me? Yeah. You don't believe it? You want to go out there with me? I'll get out there. I'll run away from you. And you be lost. You try to find your way home. There's something mysterious out there to spin you around, compasses spin, and you're lost. You're a big thicket. You're lost for a long time. Start seeing things, screaming. You be like a little kid. Hell, you never been in a forest, in a thick forest, have you? Maybe somebody behind a house, a bunch of trees. You call that a forest. You just wait till you get out to the big thicket. Yeah, that's a forest. That's a forest for you. Mysterious forest. Strange thing. A lot of stories. Yeah, I can tell you a lot of stories about the big thicket, but the goat man is the one. The goat man is the story I I grew up listening to, and everyone here knows about that. You go ask anyone about the goat man, and they'll tell you. It will. I believe it. So. Huh? What? Come on, I told you not to bother me. Hey, you can do it. Just hold on, I'm talking to man. I tell you, you leave me alone for a minute. Not for a minute, can you leave me alone for a minute? Hell, you get mad, you married? You married? Well, you love your wife, that's good, that's good, that's good. Well, you should love your wife, you love your children too. Because a man, when you get married, that's the rest of his life there. That's the rest of his progeny. His progeny is children. And his wife, well, his wife's, is a good wife. And I got a good wife, too. She gets after me sometimes, Sometimes I don't tell her this, but sometimes I wonder what it'd be like if I never married. What I'd be doing. Maybe I have more freedom to do whatever I want to. Maybe she won't, bitch at me so much, but yeah, wives are like that. You live a long time together. You gotta live. You gotta do what she gotta do, and she gotta do what you gotta do. You got what you call a compromise. Compromise. You gotta raise your kid. You raise your kids because that's all you got. That's the future of the world, kids. That's the future of the world. So you gotta try to raise them right. I know a lot of people here, they just say they don't, they give away their responsibility. They say, and my kids, well, I don't have to. I teach them as best I could, but they don't mean that. They don't teach them as best they could. They don't teach them. They don't give them anything they want. My kids, I give them anything I want because I love my kids. They're my future. They're my future. I'm not selfish. I know one man. He won't say this about himself, but what he is some immature man. Immature man, because he really only thinks about himself. He don't think about his children. He says, "Oh, I love my children." You want to look at my photograph of my children? Pull out his wallet, and he act like he love his children. But yeah, he thinks he love his children, but he don't give his children everything. And when you got children, you got to give your children everything. Everything. You got to make sacrifices for yourself and not feel like it is a sacrifice. Feel like it's doing something good for your children. And that's when you know you love your children. And that's what love is. You don't think about yourself, you think about your children. Yeah, it's important, your children grow up okay. This man maybe got children okay, but they raised themselves, they got lucky. And man, I don't know what them children think about his old man, but I tell you, I bet they know. They know that his old man is sort of immature. Immature because he think about himself. He don't think about his children. He think about himself. He's just hiding behind the fact his daddy brought him up that way, and his children got to be that way. His children, his family, he said, "Oh, it's a good lesson in life. Good lesson in life." Oh, hard knocks. Yeah, you got to live with it. What he says. Oh, I learned that way, so you got to learn that way too. That's bullshit. Excuse me. I've been thinking about this a lot. I think it's wrong. It's wrong is that you don't raise your children the way your daddy raised you. You raise them better. You learn from it. He never learned from it. See, he just hid behind it. It was immature. All think about himself. You don't think about yourself when it comes to children. You think about your children. You see, your children come first, not you. It's not your happy. Your children come first, and that's the way it should be. So, if I got something to say about that, that's what I say. Yeah, I know. Hold on a second. What? Right now? Yeah, really right now? Ah, shoot. Hey, just turn it off. We'll come back later, okay?